I'm Erin Jorick. I appreciate you checking out this short clip. In this clip, I'm going to talk about forward folding postures. I love teaching forward folds. However, I get a lot of pushback from students that maybe have limitations in the hamstrings, aren't able to fold very deeply, and kind of just overall get a little frustrated with the forward fold. So what I'm hoping to offer to you is just a little deeper understanding of the forward fold, and also ways that you could maybe support your forward folds in ways that maybe you haven't experimented with yet. So first, I want to talk about how your body moves when you do a forward fold. So structurally, what's happening when you do a forward fold. When you do a forward folding posture, the front rim of your pelvis is dropping forward over your thigh bones, and then in opposition, your sitting bones lift up and back, right? So you're moving from your hips, your pelvis, not the waist, but the front rim of your pelvis drops forward over your thighs. Okay, so structurally, that's what's happening. Now, we are not just skeletons. We have connective tissue, we have muscles. So then we have to kind of navigate that stuff. And yes, a lot of people have tight hamstrings, tight lower backs, and that's going to limit your forward folds. But there's some areas of the body that you could maybe play with to support your forward folds. You might get a little more mileage out of your forward folds. So first area of the body that I like to talk about, inner thighs. You can engage your inner thighs and internally rotate the thigh bones to support your forward folds. So a little drill, a little thing that you can play with in your practice. You can place a block between your inner thighs. You will squeeze the block. Squeeze your thigh bones into the block. It's just going to create some engagement of your inner thighs. And then think about throwing your block behind you. So you squeeze the block, you throw the block back, and you can see in my pelvis, it's actually starting to tip a little bit forward. It's starting to move in the direction of a forward fold. So again, you squeeze the block, you throw the block back, and then when you pair that with the front rim of the pelvis dropping forward, it's going to help you move into a forward fold. You might find a little more freedom in the fold. All right, so that's one addition you might add to your practice. The next thing to consider when doing a forward fold is the engagement of the fronts of your hips. When you do a forward fold, the back line of your body is lengthening, the front line of your body is shortening, right? So activating the hip flexors, so the muscles in the front of the hip, could help you increase the depth of your fold without having to just like kind of jam on your hamstrings and hope that they stretch a little more. So a good posture to see this in, Jani Shushasana. So you got one leg forward, the opposite leg is bent. All right, so say I fold forward. I've hit my max depth. Okay, this is as far as I'm going to go. And then just to go a little bit further, rather than just deepening the fold, engage the front of the hip. So I like to have this image of sucking the thigh bone into the hip socket to engage the hip flexors. So you draw the thigh bone into the hip socket. Okay, I'm able to go just a little bit deeper. So engaging the front side to support that stretch on the back side. Okay, so these are just things that you might consider when doing forward folds. Inner thigh activation, internal rotation of the thigh bones, and activation in the front of the hips. I can't guarantee that you're going to get a lot deeper in your forward folds. I can't guarantee that you're going to increase the range of motion in your hamstrings, but activating other muscle groups beyond just stretching the hamstrings makes your forward fold just a little more balanced and a little more well-rounded. So I hope you try it out. If you try it out in your practice, whether it's at home or in a studio practice, I'd love to hear how it works for you. You can add a comment on YouTube, or you can find me on social media like Instagram and shoot me a message. I'd love to hear if this works for you or what you think. Thanks for checking it out. Happy forward folding.